You guys, today's a celebratory day because it's our 2-year anniversary! You wonderful people, I can't believe it's already been 2 years. I am just so, 2 years. 2 years have just flown by. Here, let me get you a piece of cake. Enjoy. Oh, I cannot believe that we're already at the 2-year mark. Oh my God, there's so much to talk about. Okay, so let's just talk about how I even got into van life and how I've been doing and where I started, because I don't even know. When I heard about van life, I was living in a big rental home in the Netherlands. Hey Wolfie. I had my own little business. I was working every day, working in the weekends, making all this money to get by, and all I could think about was, I want to go on a holiday. I feel stressed. I have so many obligations. I have so many responsibilities, and I just want to go on vacation. And if you're hearing something, that's Bobby playing with a new toy. And I started thinking about living in a smaller house, which was not a possibility at the spot that I was living in with my job. So I couldn't, otherwise I would have lived further away from where I worked, which would have resulted in the same expenses with the diesel and everything. And then I started thinking about it, and I started researching, and then I stumbled upon van life on YouTube, I think. And I was like, wait, what's van life? What's that? How does that work? And I binged it all, and I researched, and I looked into everything, and I just wrote everything down. And then I thought to myself, I want to do this. I want to do this. I wasn't at, I'm gonna do this. I want to do this. But it was super scary. I had a horse. I had a little business that I would need to let go of. I had a house. And I had all of these things set for myself. And I needed to let go of basically all of it. And just do a 180 in my life. And just throw everything around. That's not a thing anybody just does, because that's scary. And I spent a lot of time thinking about what I was going to do for work, where I was going to be, where I was going to live, what I was going to do. Because if you have a van, you don't have not in the Netherlands, you cannot have a spot that you can live in. Or that might cost you money as well, which would only make it maybe more convenient to have a house, I don't know. And so I started designing my van, which was a little bit different than this, because I thought that my bed would be smaller, and then I would have a couch situation with a swivel table, and my kitchen would also be over there. But when I started building, I thought that would be too crowded, there would only be this little walking space. I didn't like that. So I started designing my van. I started thinking about all the things I wanted, and then one day COVID came, and that made my job a little bit obsolete. I don't know if that's the word. I was a dog walker. I had a dog walking service, which I had been doing for almost 10 years, and I loved it. But due to COVID, everybody was at home, and I was picking up dogs from people that were at home. They were keeping me on because they thought, once COVID's over, we need this business to be alive. But it felt less satisfying, and that was the point where, for me, I started to think okay, I think I'm going to do this. Things were just changing, everything was changing, and I thought, I'm gonna do this. And everybody was telling me, I was giving up my business, selling my little van that I had, buying a big van, trying to get a new web shop running, and everybody was like, what are you doing? You can't even leave the country because of COVID. But in my life, things always work out, and it didn't really matter, because by the time my van was finished, things started opening up, and I could travel again. But at the point where I started, everybody was like, what are you doing? It's COVID. You're never going to be able to go anywhere. What you going to do? What you going to do for money? People always want answers up front. You always have to have like a plan before you start doing anything. And I'm the type of person that doesn't work that way. I would love to have a plan, but it doesn't work out because if I need to have a plan up front, I cannot be doing this. So I just need to start doing it. And then it'll work out in the end, which it is doing at the moment. So I bought a van, started building stuff. You can see all about that on YouTube. It's all on YouTube. I cut holes in the van for a window for the Max Air van. I just built this van and I kind of made it up as I went. Kind of changed some things as I was building it. And then I just told my landlord, like, I'm gonna live in it, because at the beginning I didn't really think I was gonna live in it full time. I thought I was gonna do it part-time. Sophie. And then by the end I realized if I want to finish this van and live in it, I need to sell all of my belongings. Now, one of the things that I really was sad about, and which was a hard decision, was selling my horse. She's doing great. She's with a wonderful person, and you know, I couldn't have done that any better way. But that was really hard on me, but I did it and she's doing good. And then I needed to sell all of my belongings because I needed all that money to fix the van. And then the 1st of March 2022, I was living in my van. It was a whole mess. I had these big ass plants with me, which actually fell the first day. It was such a mess. I didn't know where I was going to stay. I was staying at friends' properties who have farms. And I was like, okay, now what? I didn't have any money. I didn't have a job. Now, the good thing is that in the Netherlands, I have a lot of, I know a lot of people, and I do have a lot of skills. So I'm good at DIY, do it yourself, DIY, not DUI, that's for drinking. I'm good at DIY, so people hire me to clean out things, fix things, paint things. I am a certified nanny, so daycare worker, so they can hire me to take care of their kids, which I love, which I'm good at, and I love doing that. I'm also very good with dogs. I'm a horse trainer. I have a lot of possibilities. I have a lot of things I can do. So I rent out myself as a person for whatever they need me for. And then that's how I make my money to be able to travel for half of the year. Now my ultimate plan is to be doing YouTube full time, and I'm working my ass off to do so, to get it all ready. And I have never ever in my life been so focused on doing that. I've been doing YouTube for over 2 years now. I think maybe almost 3 years. And I haven't made a dime out of it, but I love it so much, and I would love to see the world and bring y'all along. So I am very focused in getting this a success. It's not there yet, but I'm just continuing. I'm just pushing through. I'll get it done. It's gonna be awesome, and I'm taking y'all along. So that's my ultimate goal in life, is to just live in my van. Maybe in the future build another van. Maybe someday buy a property, like maybe in Portugal, just like a homestead where I can have my gardening and then just space to be and build some stuff in a little house and a shower, and just, you know, I'd love to have a little homestead someday. But for now, I really love van life and just having something different every day and having a different place, and just everything's different every day. So the places where we've been. I've been doing van life for 2 years, and I've been half of the year I've been in the Netherlands working in summer and spring, and then from fall, winter I've been traveling until spring again. I've been to Germany, Czech Republic, France, Luxembourg, Belgium, Spain, Portugal, and Gibraltar, and I've had a blast visiting all the countries. All the other countries I would still like to visit are a shit ton. I would like to go to Norway and Sweden and maybe Finland, I don't know. And I would like to go to Croatia, Slovenia, Italy, Switzerland, Austria. A lot of countries that are more to the right. But because I've not been able to travel in summer, because I'm still working to get money to travel again, I haven't really been able to go that way. I've been just trying to not have any snow and a lot of cold in the winter time. And I would love to go. Oh, I want to go to England, the UK, Ireland, Scotland. Yeah, I would love to go that corner. I would like to go to Iceland, but I think I will never take the van to Iceland. I've been to Iceland twice, but the dogs are not allowed into Iceland. I don't think I will take the van with me. I think that if I go to Iceland, I either rent a car and just get Airbnbs, or I rent a camper van. But it's too much hassle to take the van there if I'm not allowed to take my dogs, because I won't be able to leave them longer for a month. I don't even think I can leave them for a month. But yeah, I love my dogs so much. I don't really like traveling without them. One of the things that I had never, ever thought about before starting van life is how much you grow as a person. Because I don't even really know where to start to talk about this, but if you watch my channel, and if you look at videos from when I just started doing van life and you look at me now, I feel like I'm a totally different person, because you get to know yourself so much. You get to realize so many things about yourself. I am totally on my own in a different country, taking care of my dogs, taking care of my van. I am responsible for all of our well-beings, and I need to trust that I can do this. And I'm a woman in a different country. Just everything's different. I have sort of a routine in the van with the dogs, and you know, when I feed them, when I walk them, but overall every day is different. Every day brings you new challenges. Every day, like for instance, this travel I went to Murcia, which was kind of scary because I needed to drive into a bigger city town, and then I parked somewhere which was very nice. Then I took a tram into the town, which was one of my anxieties. Maybe somebody watching this is like, oh, that's not a big deal. For me, it was super scary. I did that. I remember filming that, being like shaking, standing there with my ticket. No, you know, I wasn't sure if the dogs were allowed, so I had the stroller, and I went into the tram, and I was very scared. And something just clicked there. That was so scary to me, and doing that was so, like, it opened like a part of my mind where I was like, I can do this. I can do shit. Now, would I go into town with another tram very soon? I don't know. Not really at the moment thinking about that, but I might. And I had lots of fun, and it was very beautiful. But just something, it's like you take like steps into how you're growing. I don't even know how to put this, but It's just because everything is different, you don't have anything to hold on to. So for instance, in the Netherlands, when I was living in my house, even though I didn't really like my neighbor because she was not very friendly, I knew who she was. I knew my neighbors. I knew people living around me. I knew what time I would have to go to work. I had a very organized day, take care of my horses, and I just had a really structural day. So every day was more or less the same. And then sometimes something would happen which would be a little bit different. Now, every day is different. For instance, if I'm in the Netherlands and I go into the same supermarket every day and they change the part where they put products, so for instance the butter is now no longer on top but it's at the bottom and I need to look for it, I'm a little bit frustrated because I'm like, I know this store like the back of my hand. This is like a 5-second job. I just walk in, walk out, and then I have everything I need and then I can go again. That's my shopping experience. While I'm traveling, every supermarket I go into, I have no idea what they sell, where it is, and what it will cost. So that's just a whole nother experience. So in the Netherlands, where you're like, oh, I need to get some groceries, I'll do it in 10 minutes. Here I'm like half an hour, 45 minutes in the store, walking through all the aisles, scanning what they have, getting my Google Translate, figuring out what things are, what's in it. Sometimes I don't even know what it is. And that just makes it a whole different experience. And that's with everything. Road signs, road qualities, villages, people. People talk to me all the time. I don't speak their language. So it's very nice that people like to connect. I'm trying to communicate with them. I have no idea what they're saying. And sometimes we can make it work with I have just a tiny bit of French knowledge, a tiny bit of Spanish knowledge, and then I'll just try and figure it out and I'll just make it work. But most of the time, that's it. But, people try to connect with you and it's just, everything's different. Signs are different. If I needed to get something shipped here, for instance, my dog food, I was running out of dog food. I needed to get it sent here. Then I talked to somebody. I asked him if he could go pick it up. And then I had to visit to him to get the food. Everything is different. It's all so different. And that at the beginning was, I really didn't know how to get how to be okay with that, because it is also something you can hold on to when you have a certain structure in your life, because you don't really need to think about it. It's just something you do and it makes the day easier. Now, as I'm experiencing, is that it also makes it a little bit more dull. So traveling can get quite exhausting, but at the same time, if I'm in one place for a longer time and I do the same thing over and over, I kind of get dull. I kind of where's the adventure? Hi, Wolfie. Where's the adventure? What how can we make this more fun? And if you're traveling, every day is different, so you don't have to look for fun because it's just all around. It's just everywhere. I love it. Van life on anybody else? If you want to do van life and you don't have any idea how to start, how to do it, I would just say if you really, really, really want it and you have some skills and you could, for instance, if you don't have any dogs, you can work away. So you can work on farms helping people, or for instance you can do like grape picking or olive picking or orange picking or stuff like that. I have my dogs with me, so I always have to keep them in mind. I can't just be 8 hours a day working somewhere and then them being in the van. That's not a possibility. I think you could do it, but you have to like not be scared of the unknown. So for instance, I in the Netherlands have a farm that I can go to who has kids, and I work there, and I love them and they really appreciate the way I work. So they always have spots available for me. So when I get back, of course, when I left, I had like this big of time span that I was working there. So I could work there like 60 hours a week if I wanted to. Now when I get back, it's probably going to be like 20, but it gives me somewhere to start because they needed to fill up some of it. And then, you know, we'll see what else I can do. And maybe I'll start training some horses again, or maybe I'll start training some dogs, or maybe I'll do babysitting on some other kids. I don't know. I'll figure it out when I'm there. So the freedom I have from not having to work, but it's also really scary for not having any money left. So it's not like I have 10,000 euros in the bank. I don't have that, which might not even be a lot to somebody, but to me that would be a shit ton. I don't have that. Every time I travel, I usually even go below the budget that I had. I just borrow some money somewhere. And then I go back and then I just fill it all up, and then I travel and I just dip down. And that's not what I want to keep doing, but for now that's how it's working for me, and I'm having a lot of fun doing it. And yeah, and if I would say if you are very worried about not having money or not having an income, or if you're very worried about, if you worry a lot about things, you're going to stress out. It's not going to be any fun. So at the beginning I was very worried, and I thought like, how am I going to do this? And what if I need to get a job? Because I used to have my own business, but if I'm going to get a job, work for somebody, I can't just leave, because then you have like holidays. How do you say that? Free days to go on holiday. What's that called? I don't know. You know what I mean. They have to work. Where am I going to put my dogs? What am I going to do? Like, I was scared at the beginning, and I'm like, I'll figure it out. I'll figure it out. I hope YouTube is going to be a success, and otherwise I'll figure it out. It's going to be okay. But you have to believe that it's going to be okay, because if you don't, you're screwed. Because then you're just not going to enjoy the experience. Just be stressed out all the time. It's not going to work. So I would be like, just take the plunge and dare. You have to like have guts. You have to dare to do it, and just dare to believe it's going to be okay. And then it'll be okay. But yeah. Now, one of the things that made me think about being on the road for 2 years, which made me kind of sad and happy at the same time, is that when I started van life with 3 dogs. And one of the dogs, I lost one of the dogs along the way. She died while we were in the Netherlands. There's a whole video about that, and it was almost 2 years ago. This is now a year and a half ago. And Wolfie came to join us last year. She's almost going to be 1 year old next month, huh? You're going to be 1 year old. So even though we lost Durak, and I really would have wanted to take her along because I think she would have had a blast doing the van life with us, it got us Wolfie. So now I have 3 dogs, and Wolfie is our newest little pack member, and I love her so much, and she's doing so good, and she's so feisty. She's so tiny, but she's so feisty. She has so much personality. Yeah, Wolfie. my future plans for my van life adventure. I'm hoping that Sophie, which is the name of my van, will be okay to travel like hundreds and more kilometers, and she'll be okay. She might need some repairs here and there, and that's okay. We'll do that for her. But I'm hoping that she will stay okay with us for traveling, that I don't need to build a new van. I might want to help somebody build a new van anytime soon, because I've been hanging out at a homestead here and I'm building all this stuff and I'm creating all of these things and I'm making like storage solutions and I'm really loving it, building stuff. So I might want to build another van for somebody or with somebody, or yeah, I don't think I want to build a new van for myself yet. I love this van. I wouldn't even want to sell her. Like, she's so perfect for us. I love my van. And yeah, what my overall vision is that I'm trying to manifest in life. Let's talk about that. My overall vision to manifest in life is, I would love to be a full-time YouTuber, have like a big audience that loves to come along on our adventures. I would love to keep traveling for certain parts of the year, and then I would love to have a homestead somewhere, which in my mind for now, I'm thinking of maybe a little wooden cabin somewhere in Sweden that we would hang out in summer, or Norway, or a little stone cabin in Portugal on a big property. Well, not big, but like that has space around it, that we would hang out in winter. And then we would travel the other parts of the year, because I think I would like to keep traveling. And I would love to have like a cabin that I can build stuff in, or that I can create this beautiful little cottage homestead. I would love that. And have maybe a vegetable garden, depending on where I'm gonna be, because if I'm gonna make a garden and then leave, but maybe I'll have somebody house sit on my property when I'm gone. I don't know, maybe I can have somebody else love the property that I have. I would love to have something like that, so that I can alternate between traveling parts and then getting back to a homestead and relaxing. And I would love to have like this big garden for the dogs to run around in, and I would love to be like apple picking and then making apple pies, or making apple syrup, or making apple stuff. I would love to do stuff like that. I would really like to do that. Those are my visions for the future. And what I would also like to do, which has also been my main plan in my life, I would like to make so much money in my life that I have enough to spare, so that if I would travel and I would go, for instance, last year I went to my friend, his name is Gordon, he has this animal association. He could have used some maintenance on the property, or some dog food sponsored, or something like that. And I would have loved to be able to come there with my channel, with all of my followers, to show them around, to lend him a hand, and then get him a dog food deal, or get his road professionally fixed instead of me wheelbarrowing some gravel down, which made a difference, but I would have liked to make like a bigger difference. So my ultimate goal in life is to have a YouTube channel that generates so much money that I have so much money to spare, so I can help animal associations around the world, or around the parts that I can go to make their life easier, and to make the life for the dogs easier, or for the, I'm saying dogs, but it could be any animal, a horse association, cats, I don't know, anything I can go to and just be there and say, hey, I'm Kim, this is my audience, what would you like to share with them, and what can we do for you? And then that's just what I would love to do, because I always say I'd like to make the world a better place everywhere I go. So I'd like to make everything a little bit more beautiful, or a little bit more clean, or a little bit more, like a little bit better, and then I leave. And that's how I thank the places that I go to for having a safe stay for me there. So that's my ultimate dream. So just to share in my wealth, and to also make people be seen, and maybe help the dogs be adopted to somebody out there, or maybe, I don't know, make people connect. So if they need help and somebody sees my video and they're like, oh, I would like to go out and help, I would like to go and help out there, then they can go and help out there. Stuff like that. I would just like to use the internet for the good. So yeah. So, yeah, that's my whole story about 2 years Van Vengers. And I want to thank you so much. Oh, for that. We are almost at 900 followers. And I am just mind blown that we're already almost at 900 followers, which is going to be like a countdown until the 1,000. And I'm so happy that you are all here. And I'm so thankful that you are all here. I'm having so much fun doing this and living this lifestyle. If you have any questions, if you have any requests for videos that you would like to see in the future, please let me know, because I'll try and get it out there for you. I want to thank you so much for being here and taking your time, your valuable time in your day to watch my videos. It's very appreciated. I absolutely appreciate that you're here spending your time with us. If you have any questions, please let me know. I will see you in the next video. And in the meantime, don't forget to say yes to new Van Vengers.